Brussels. The European Union has issued a stark warning over U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to impose steep new tariffs on European imports, saying the move could bring EU-US trade to a standstill. EU Trade Commissioner Maros Sefcovic said the proposed 30% tariffs, set to take effect on August 1st, would practically prohibit trade between the two economic powers. Speaking in Brussels, Sefcovic emphasized the damage the tariffs could inflict, noting that trade between the EU and the U.S. is currently valued at over 4.4 billion euros per day. "We believe we were on the verge of a breakthrough," Sefcovic said, referencing recent efforts to reach a preliminary trade agreement with Washington. "This sudden announcement has seriously disrupted our progress." EU prepares retaliatory measures. In response, the EU has delayed its planned counter-tariffs on U.S. goods worth 21 billion euros, which were scheduled to go into effect this week. However, European ministers are now weighing a significantly broader response, potentially increasing the sanctions package to 72 billion euros. The internal debate over how to respond remains divided. France is pushing for a firm reaction, invoking a new EU law designed to counter economic coercion. Germany favors a more cautious, pragmatic approach. Italy and several Eastern European nations have expressed concern that a strong retaliatory stance could jeopardize vital U.S. military support in the region. "We're trying to avoid an escalation, but at the same time, we can't afford to look weak," said Danish Foreign Minister Lars Rasmussen. Broader tensions simmer. Several EU leaders also highlighted shared transatlantic concerns, such as a fight against fentanyl trafficking and global technological competition with China, suggesting that cooperation with Washington remains important despite current tensions. Meanwhile, Trump's remarks extended beyond Europe. He also criticized Canada and Mexico, accusing both nations of not doing enough to stem the flow of opioids into the U.S., even though those issues were not directly linked to the EU negotiations. Trump's tariff move. On July 12th, Trump announced that all imports from the EU and Mexico would be hit with a 30% tariff starting August 1st. In a letter to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, he claimed the U.S.-EU trade relationship has been far from reciprocal. The sudden move has sparked concern across global markets and drawn sharp criticism from EU officials, who warn it could unravel years of transatlantic economic cooperation.